Today on Parker's Reefs, we review Sammi's beautiful 7x3 foot mixed reef masterpiece. Let's do it. Alright, hi everyone, welcome to Parker's Reefs. I'm still in my Sydney reefing trip, and I'm fortunate enough to be here with another Sam and his incredible 7x3.
7x3x2, yeah.
7x3x2. This is more than two though, yeah?
This is 2 feet high.
Yes.
It's reefing deep.
Yes.
It's 7 feet long, but yeah, it looks probably bigger than it actually is.
Well, I'm standing right here. It looks a lot bigger than that. Tell us about your tank. Tell us about your journey about reefing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in reefing for probably 6 years now.
Yes.
And started off with a 4x2x2.
Okay.
And made lots of mistakes. Started with tap water, did lots of kind of things wrong to begin with, but quickly realised RO is the way to go, and went from there to a cave 5x2,
nice.
which was here for a while.
Yes.
But it's quite a big space, as you can kind of see. So
it
is big space. So we kind of felt. I know. So we had the 5x2, and it just felt a little bit lost in here. So my partner, my girlfriend, also was pretty happy to say, like, let's go a bit bigger, have it as a statement feature.
Yeah, you locked that in very quickly.
Locked that in. The reason we didn't go bigger was just simply trying to get it in. So with this tank, it came through that door, but we had delivery guys on the floor trying to angle it through and everything like that. And the stand, even worse. So I had to take down the neighbour's fence, rip out the window, just to get it through with about 8 guys. So it was a pretty major effort for us to do. Yeah, very dedicated.
You talked about how much effort it was to get it in, but you have to tell us, like, this is a stainless steel
underneath it,
frame, stainless steel powder coat. It's only this incredible lighting fixture here that you've got with all your cables and castles all here and there.
Absolutely.
A really neat setup. Tell us a bit more about the equipment you're on. So we can see you've got a bunch of Kessels up here.
Yep.
A couple of radians.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think down there I saw a monster-sized fuse, which is just pumping out there. It's more keto than I could cover. It's a big ball.
Yeah.
You're running a Kessel.
H380, H380 for the light down there, yeah. So I can show you that, a little bit of purple going on.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, no, exactly right. So custom made tank, custom made through Aquaristic and Lang.
Nice.
I had a professional steel builder make this, and then powder coated over the top. They also made the brackets for the lights fixtures as well for me, which I'm really happy with how they came out. A little bit of an industrial look, but it kind of really makes it. I think it's a pretty cool look. And Lang also did the sump for me.
Yes.
So running a Royal exclusive 250 Supermarine skimmer, H380 light for the Cheetah, got a big ball in there, Cage Guardian, running a little bit of GFO and carbon as well.
Okay.
And other than that, I've got UV light, so Aquaswiss 55, Aquaswiss 55 watt UV. And used Kamoa doses just to do, was alkalinity, magnesium and calcium, but now it's just calc and magnesium.
Sure.
Used to run NoPox and a 3POX. Kind of don't really need that anymore. The Cheetah seems to do enough of a nutrient absorbent job for me. So
speaking of like nutrient absorbent, whereabouts are your parameters now? I know we've been playing with the cage guard, so we know alkalinity is currently around 7, but we're going to slowly bring it up a bit higher.
Absolutely. So I run it pretty high, to be totally honest with you. So I'm trying to run. Last time I did nitrate test was probably running about 5 or 6. So
that's fine. This is a big mixed reef. I mean, your softies and your SPS are looking great. So as well as LPS in between. So you don't want to starve them.
They're all doing really well. So I'm pretty happy with it around there. For phosphate, it's roughly around 0.0. I think it was about 8 last time I tried it, so it's okay. It's kind of around the right area. For alkalinity, I try and run it quite high actually, so I'm going to slowly increase to probably 9 or 10, so I should get it really, really high. For calc, I'm about 440, 450, so again, pretty high. But I love the coralline algae, I love the sort of, the ability to kind of grow all of that. So I tend to run everything pretty high, and I'm getting good results. So the SPS are growing pretty quickly. With fairly decent coloration at this point. So
we're talking about this blue, whether it's a staghorn or some other tobacco, really seeing some good growth from that at the moment, and the colour, particularly on those new growth sections, really nice vibrant blue, which is nice to see. I'm not sure if you told us how long the tank's been running for.
Yeah, so this is 2 years now.
Okay.
I've had the fish for a while longer than that. The sailfin was my original first ever fish in marine, which is pretty cool. So he's grown a little bit, so I've had him 5 years total, I think it is now. So
I see he's showing his sails now. I took
Yeah.
50 pictures of that fish before, and he would not show his sails once.
But he's done his dark thing as well, so he's
Yes.
he's kind of an interesting fish. I don't know why he does it, but he goes quite dark and he lightens up.
Yeah,
And as soon as something spooks him, he'll go back to his normal colours. You can even see straight away he's kind of going a bit more white now.
Yeah, cool fish.
Very cool fish. Most recent additions, the brown cheeked tang.
Yes. I got a bunch of pictures of him too.
Yeah.
Came up an absolute treat, so I'm looking forward to seeing those on the big screen when I get home.
Thank you, yeah. And then, it's Mandarin in here somewhere who doesn't often come out. I've had him for about a year. That was kind of always the dream to have a Mandarin, grow the cheetah, get the pod population to a decent size. And he, if I'm honest, doesn't eat any frozen, so he's just self-sustaining himself on the rock. And,
yeah, nice.
He's I wouldn't say he's fat, but he's definitely not skinny. He's kind of in that
Good size. Thing.
exactly right. So yeah, so really happy with the way the tank's going. Love the flame angel. He's one of the flames that unfortunately does nibble a little bit on a few of the little ones, like acans especially.
Sure.
But otherwise, really happy with it. Starting to go into my SBS journey now, so doing a lot more kind of SBS dominant bits. As you can kind of see in this section.
Yeah, this probably should come
exactly right. Yeah, up there. So it's starting to come through, but I think one of my first corals was this piece actually over here, who's now pretty big. So I'll still always have a little bit of soft stuff in here. There's no doubt about that. But
we were talking earlier before about how, as enthusiasts and purists in the hobby, that we get pretty caught up on the latest craze of what this SBS is and what this particular type of mushroom is, or recordia or whatever it is. But you get, say, your partner's family over the day, or you have Christmas lunch here or something, and you get friends over. The first thing they'll look at is your similarity and your leather there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to have that sort of grounded moment.
Exactly right.
We go chasing these coloured little Tic Tacs and sticks when, in reality, if we were fresh eyes to the hobby, that's what grabs our attention.
Exactly right.
And
so it's
I
crazy.
like to see it.
Yeah, you're spot on. It's people who aren't in the hobby go, love that, love this kind of blue elegance in here.
Yes.
And there's me at the top going, what about the strawberry? Doesn't matter about the two-tone colour.
Doesn't bother.
So it's a really interesting grounding moment. You're absolutely right. Where you're just like, you know what? Do you need to spend $200 on a coral, or is that still a nice coral? It might be more common, but it's still a beautiful piece.
Exactly,
So there's not a lot of coral in here that's overly expensive.
I honestly think it's a track that a lot of, I'm sure everywhere in the world, but Australians in particular fall into. We see these corals overseas that we can't get, because we can't import coral in Australia, so we get there's a strong desire to have that coral, and we've got some of the best corals in the world right here that are readily available and cheap, and we turn our nose up at them because we see them in every store we go to.
Exactly. There's honestly, there's not a single coral in here over $100. Absolutely nowhere even near. I think most of them are sort of retailing like between 50 and 70. And I've picked up bargains along the way and things like that, but not a single piece that's over 100. So I think that's quite a nice thing to see.
I think it's proof that you don't need ultra corals. I must admit, apart from maybe my frag tank, where I've got a couple of little treasures hidden away, my main display is predominantly, in fact, if not all, your fairly run-of-the-mill corals. Main things being my Dallas and my green cat, which are corals a lot of people consider a weed. They're my two showpieces.
They're amazing. Yeah,
I love them. So
I've seen the tank. It's incredible. I've got a Dallas growing at the back, and I can only dream of having the same kind of feel where it comes out and it almost takes that section.
Demands for that Dallas and that blue one.
That's it. Yeah.
Just create this mesh.
Fuse in the middle here.
Yeah, this mesh of SBS for the small fish to swim through. I can see that lawnmower blending swimming through.
There's a Mandarin here to come out for the show, which is nice to see. So I think the only thing that I sometimes feel is missing this tank is there's a lot of big fish, and sometimes I think there's a flame hawk kind of kicking down there and things like that. But sometimes just I feel like there's almost like a little school of fish needed.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd love to keep some amphias, but open top.
It
can be a little bit of a challenge. But a schooling type of amphia, purple, yellow, and orange. I think would be a 6 or 7 fish there. I think that's
Can
probably
be
everything I feel.
and it's a massive tank.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've got. It's not like you've only got 3 fish in there. You got 3 fish in there.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, you possibly could get some more. And you're right. A nice school of fish would probably really finish it off nicely.
Yeah. So that's probably the next little adventure. So I've got 1 chromis. I had a few chromis. I lost a couple, unfortunately. So there's one remaining. But this tank actually feeds to a second tank. So I use a litre meter, which takes from the IBC around the corner underneath the house. I've been under the house plenty of times. I've drilled under the house, so it's you can't really see any of the kind of cables. But it drills under the house into the tank. I've got a second pump that's then taking that out to the second tank in another room, which is a little bit more of a fry tank. And, got a little box fish in there.
Little box fish is
Well,
the coolest hermit crab.
Yeah, the coolest hermit crab. Yeah.
Saw him feed before, and he grabbed hold of that calamari or whatever it was. It was random, and he was awesome. He inspired me to get one actually.
Yeah, he's I think they call him a white spot hermit crab. They're pretty cool. Get big, they get very big.
Yeah.
They're an awesome guy. He's one of my favourite creatures that I have. Full stop. I think the whole thing. He used to be in here actually, but he. He's a troublemaker. He's a bit of a troublemaker. He used to. He was a great guy. Like I'd feed the tank, he'd run from the back to the front and kind of go, "Where's my food?" I'd hand feed him. Fantastic. But he was just so big that he'd get up here and he'd be climbing on top, and I'd be, there'd be SBS on the floor in the morning. And I was just, after a week of picking up every day, you kind of.
You overstayed as well.
Yeah. So he's got his own tank, so he's pretty happy in there. So that's his tank, and he's got a couple of fish mates to bug when he needs to. But he's good.
Awesome. Oh, well, thank you so much.
No problem.
Really appreciate you having me in your house and showing me your tank. It's been an absolute pleasure. And it's difficult to see. I can only envision what it's like. This tank is. We'll talk about the capacity before. About this tank's pretty well close to, if not more than double the size of my tank. Even though they both seem sort of fairly large.
It's the depth. Yeah.
The amount of time and effort you must put in to have a tank this large, looking as good as this, is a testament to your work ethic. So keep it up, and I'm looking forward to next time seeing these SBS.
That's it, exactly.
Smashing into each other, it'll be great.
That's the dream. In a year's time, hopefully this has kind of built itself out. So yeah, just a bit of a patience getting there. So yeah.
Exactly. Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Well done. Cheers.
Thanks, Sam.